claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but here at 284 Media, we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. Gentlemen, aspiring gentlemen, and of course, our partners that hold us down. I'm Ron Grant. Welcome back to Season 7 of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, a show that is poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. Now don't worry, it's not about suits and bow ties, but instead real-life lessons that truly translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. Thank you all for taking this journey with me. My next guest is indeed one of the most grounded persons I know, a true Virgin Islander. He has been working in the beverage industry for quite some time, an industry he grew up in, a very strong and rich family heritage. I'm talking about the one and only Roosevelt Smith III. Yes, I said it, the third. We're going to talk all things fatherhood, of course, being a husband, and he's celebrating his birthday with us today on the set. So we'll be right back after a quick commercial break. Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. As promised, we are joined by the man himself, Roosevelt Smith III, but we call him Roo. Roo, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and being on the set. And happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm very pleased that despite scheduling, you decided to spend a couple minutes with us on your special day. Out of curiosity, as you celebrate your birthday year after year, of course, an attitude of gratitude, what are you most thankful for?
Mostly just another year of life and being able to spend time with family.
Good.
To be honest, I love family. The older I get, the less I party, the more I spend it with family.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
So speaking of family, you are a father, you're a husband, fairly new to both.
Yes.
Right? What has fatherhood taught you so far? Or how are you enjoying the journey of fatherhood?
The journey of fatherhood is very interesting, but it opens another side of you that you did not know was there. And you see the joy that you see in other people, you now get to experience it yourself.
Okay.
I think that's the most exciting thing for me, and seeing somebody evolve from nothing is very eye-opening as well.
Has it taught you anything about yourself that perhaps you didn't know you had in you?
How dependable I am.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, you've always been a dependable person.
Yes. I try my best to.
Gotcha.
That's the way I was raised. So those have been instilled in me from time I was a young boy. Yeah.
When we talk about the level of values that have been instilled in you, I make no mistake about it when I say that you come up from an extremely rich Virgin Islands family, a true heritage. Tell us about that relationship and your ability to really take as much as you can from that strong family that you have supporting you.
So many know my grandfather is Roosevelt Smith. Grandmother is Doreen Smith of Road Reef, Fort Bout Hotel, Roosevelt Smith Modern Construction. I grew up with them most of my life. The other side of my family are the Penns, both very large families. And we always put family first. You always look out for family, take care of family. If ever in need, just help them out. Do the best you can do. Family is very important because at the end of the day, those are the ones that normally stand by you and get you through whichever situation you're going through.
Gotcha.
So family is very important too. It was very important in my upbringing.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. One of the things that you enjoy doing with your family is being on the water.
Yes.
Tell me about how you got into that.
Well, like many other young BVI landlords or anyone living in the BVI, I was exposed to the CAT program at a
Okay.
young age. Outside of that, both families are known for the boating industry. On the Penn side, you have some boat builders, Cyrus Penn and those. My grandfather used to race J24s, amongst other boats, and I just fall in love with it. And we live in the BVI, of course, so what is there not to love?
Yeah.
The water is very important to us, main means of trade back in the day, and there's nothing common like the ocean.
You enjoy. I see the joy in your face when you're on the water with your family and friends. So I can only imagine the joy that it brings you.
Yes.
Now, in speaking of that family heritage, and being around your grandfather and grandmother in the beverage industry, um, I would only assume, and you correct me if I'm wrong, it kind of led and opened up the path for your career in the beverage industry. Tell me about that professional aspect for you.
Well, so like I said, we have a background in construction and the hotel industry. I never expected to be on this side of the industry. But when I went away to school to study hotel and tourism management, as I was following in the family business, I ended up meeting a guy by the name of Richard Berry,
Okay.
hosting events for the UVI hospitality team. I was the president at the time. We interacted on few events, and then he offered me this job from while I was in college.
Gotcha.
Came up, met Mr. Kevin Foy, and I would say the rest is history. About 8 years in now,
Okay.
my main goal when I started this job was to learn about this side of the industry in terms of getting to know the beverages, getting to know who's the clients, the pricing aspect, and all of that. So 8 years in, I'm very happy that I did it,
Okay.
because I can now take that information and share it with the family and help the family business to grow.
Understood. Understood. Well said. One of the things that we in a time where we're discussing, tourism and of course the hospitality market, which is it's supposed to be our bread and butter. I don't know if we're giving it the well needed attention that it deserves, but from your seat where you sit, what would you say are some of the and particularly when you interact with a lot of business owners, what would you say are some of the challenges that the industry is facing?
Some of the challenges that we see consistently throughout the industry is you hear people complain about shipping costs. You hear people complain about tourists coming in, but it's all within a trend. Once the timing is correct, I think the visitors would elevate.
Okay.
Currently, I think we're very good. We're standing in terms of reservations. What I've heard from the different companies is that we will be good this season.
Okay.
But there's always room for improvement. Take, for example, if we have a music fest or you have festival, there's a struggle to get a room. So there's always room for improvement within the economy. We need more rooms so that we can really capitalize on when we do large festivals or musical events.
From a community perspective, what can we do? What can we do better to help to enhance the product? Just the everyday citizen who might not even be in the industry.
Continue to be loving and caring. Because to be honest, you run into a tourist, you tell them good morning, or you give them directions. They always say, whether I meet them here or abroad or in an airport, the BVI community is very welcoming and open.
Gotcha.
So I think the personality of the persons living in the BVI that are very caring and loving contributes a lot to the tourism industry and what we have to offer. Because if the environment is hostile, many people will not come back. So it's for us to have love and peace, and admire what everyone brings to the table in order to make it possible.
Absolutely right. There are a lot of young people who are within the space of business or want to get into the space of business, no matter what it is, various industries. You happen to have been able to be a part of a larger family business, and of course, utilizing your own interests to make avenues for yourself. But what would you say to the up and coming young professionals who may look at you and perhaps admire some of your work, but they themselves are apprehensive, they're not sure of the path or the process? What would you say to that professional?
What I would say to that is, if you see an opportunity, take it, because you never know where it's going to lead you. For me, I think I have missed some of my opportunities. I look back at them and I say, well, I wish I can go after that. But surround yourself with people that can give you good advice. I have a gentleman on my corner that has always spoken to me and told me, have a team. So when we say have a team, you mean have somebody on the accounting side, have someone on the legal side, have a doctor friend, just so you can get different areas of expertise and like different angles of wisdom.
Gotcha.
To help you get where you want to go. But surround yourself with good people, and more than likely you're going to get where you want to be.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Who would have been or are some of the good people in your life over the years, whether it be family or otherwise, who have been a part of the process in who you become?
That's a very long list, but honestly, starting from home, grandparents, parents, aunties and uncles for sure. Everybody contributed something differently.
The village.
The whole village, on both sides of the family, who didn't teach me how to cook, teach me how to sew, teach me how to drive, teach me how to sail, teach me how to love, teach me how to walk, don't let the sun meet you in the bed, get up, go do something. So I wouldn't call any names.
Understood. That's fair enough. Yeah, you're gonna start.
Yeah, I wouldn't call any names, but the village.
I love that.
And just always give them their props. Know what you can say to them. Don't wait till they got. That's what I was.
I really, really love that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're chopping up with the man himself, Rue, spitting some wisdom and, of course, sharing his remarkable journey. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Welcome back, viewers, and thank you so much for sticking with us. We're continuing a birthday conversation with the man himself, Rue. Rue, when you look at your very rich Virgin Islands heritage, what would you say that you're most proud of in being a Virgin Islander?
I'm very proud of where I'm from, and I think that we definitely have somewhere to go, and we can also enrich our culture here within the BVI, especially our historical culture. For me, I always look at the BVI has tremendous beauty, and we have tremendous history. We have tremendous culture. We speak about the beauty a lot. We speak about the culture a lot. The history is not spoken about as much. And I think that's something that we can improve on, that would also contribute to the tourism product that we have to offer.
Amazing. When you look at our rich cultural background, I got some fun questions for you because being a true Virgin Islander, you would have some favorites. So your favorite sister island?
It depends on what you want. But I love Anegada for the peace and quiet. I love Cooper Island for the sunsets. Um, and I love Jocelyn Lake for a different point of view. Because you get to look at Tortola right down to the end of St. Thomas, and you just see everybody hustling and bustling in between.
Would those places you mentioned also be your favorite places to sail, or otherwise?
I love going to Anegada.
Okay.
Because you're up there, fresh lobster, just a nice vibe, not crowded, and the enjoyment of Anegada, it depends on you and your crew, or you and your group. So walk with your fun.
Gotcha. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wonderful. In addition to that, do you have a favorite Virgin Islands cuisine?
Fish and fungi.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good
All
one.
day.
That's a good one.
I even put a little bit of coconut dumpling with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Virgin Islands drink? It could be alcoholic or non-alcoholic, a local drink.
If it would be alcoholic, cane rum.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Non-alcoholic, I love Mabi.
I got you. Okay. We have something in common. Beautiful.
Yeah.
If you could take someone from Virgin Islands yesteryear, and that simply means that the person is no longer with us, they've passed away, who would that person be and why? You could take them to lunch or dinner.
Jenny Wheatley.
That's a good one.
The reason is I know her from a child growing up in East End, and the knowledge that she has and the way she tells a story, it just captures you. Her amongst others, but that's the first one to jump to mind.
Good. She was definitely a national treasure.
For sure.
Beautiful.
For sure.
Now, we look at our Virgin Islands, and I love the fact that you mentioned there is much to be proud of, because there is. Apart from our beauty, we have some of the best and brightest. But in hindsight, 2020, we have a lot that we could work on or improve upon. Is there anything in particular that concerns you or keeps you up at night when it comes to the BVI in any particular area? Crime, doesn't matter.
The political climate right now is very eye-opening. I would not expect to see that. But like I said previously as well, I would like to see an improvement on preserving our historical culture.
Okay.
Take, for example, the dungeons and other historical sites. When you travel anywhere else within the Caribbean or around the world, former forts or historical sites are well kept, cleaned, fenced off. You have to pay a fee to go in and try to relive that moment in time, that historical moment in time. So that is something I would like to see happen in the BVI. I know National Parks Trust is doing what they can do. It's a tall axe, but we need to support more in terms of the historical culture.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Now, you are amongst a number of young leading professionals, and there's nothing, and I mean really and truly nothing, makes me more happy than to see my fellow colleagues in various industries serving in leadership positions. But it isn't always easy. With youth, persons like to sometimes equate youth to inexperience. But even within your team, as a manager within Caribbean Sellers, you have a number of other young professionals as well. What does it mean for you to be able to take up that leadership space and still be surrounded by persons your age?
I love it because it makes you stay on your toes. And the way I was trained, always be ready to move on. So leave space for them to come after you. I'm a person, I don't like to feel stagnant.
Okay.
If I feel that I'm here too long, I find some way to move on or move up. To be honest, I didn't expect to be in a position that I am or working with the company I am for so long, because I gave myself a 2-year window, a 3-year window. But over the time, I kept progressing within the company, so hence why I'm still here. So I feel I cherish having young professionals around me because it gives me an opportunity to teach somebody and to help them elevate themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So no gatekeeping.
Let's go.
Yeah, I love it. I love
Let's
it.
go.
What would you say is next for Rue?
I have a couple of things in the pipeline.
Okay. If you can't share, that's okay.
Yeah, they'll come on streams soon
Fair enough.
and let you know.
Well, I appreciate you, and as I've told you before, sincerely appreciate your growth and your authenticity in leading a generation of greatness, essentially. But your very calm, cool, and collected demeanor is one to be treasured, and we are proud of you. We see you, we salute you, and we continue to be very proud of you and your work. So keep up the good work, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. And cheers.
Salute.
Viewers, we were chopping it up with the man himself, Roosevelt Smith III, that is. An amazing conversation, sharing his journey, and of course, celebrating another year of life. We're going to see you next week. Thanks for joining us. You've been watching The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 7. Let's go.